Hello and welcome to the State Farm postgame. It has been a heck of a week 13 so far. The game that everyone couldn't wait to see. San Francisco and Baltimore lived up to the hype and then some.
Well, you know, we were talking, I don't think I walked away from the game any less impressed with San Francisco. San Francisco ran the ball extremely well on Baltimore and kept it close. And they were tough yards for the Baltimore Ravens most of the day. Passing yards were not for both teams. I mean, I think Lamar, the weather, whether it's the weather, it's the coverage, impacted him today. But the run game, he was spectacular in that. San Francisco was in earshot of winning this football game. That final drive was an impressive drive.
Well, you know, but this is one of the games that we were talking about earlier. If they meet again, where do they meet? Super Bowl.
Right.
If they meet again, is the weather going to be like it was today? Absolutely not. This game will mean nothing if these two teams meet again in the Super Bowl because, I mean, but the weather today was, I think, in a lot of ways, was a factor. But Lamar Jackson did what Lamar Jackson does. 105 yards passing, 101 yards rushing. And we sat here with these little bootlegs, and Tony's yelling, don't they know he's going to do this? They got to know he's going to hold the ball. It looks easy, I guess, sitting here in this seat. But when you're out there on that field, it's just difficult. You don't want to be the guy that falls for that fake that he's going to go outside and miss the running back inside. And that's why I think a lot of guys have bid on that. But this guy, he just continues to win, even though the numbers aren't astronomical like a lot of other players.
He's a special player, but I think he playing in today's game with the rules, the way it's set up for him to have success, meaning like guys like you and Howie, you guys can't hit him like you used to back in the day. And there was a flag where he was going out of bounds, and it didn't look like a late hit, but they called it anyway because they're trying to protect because he's a quarterback. But I'm like, he's a running back. So that's one of the things that's always scared me about Lamar.
At that point, he's a runner.
But they're not calling it that way because he is a quarterback. So it's almost an unfair advantage that the defense goes against, and he's using it to his advantage. I'm not getting mad at it. Keep doing it, Lamar, because that is why he's on that MVP tear right now.
Yeah, I think hats off to the 49ers. I was equally impressed with them. I think we came into this game talking Lamar Jackson, and rightfully so. Not unlike years past. In the last couple of years, we've talked about Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
We've never seen anybody do what he does throwing the football. We've never seen anybody doing it with their legs other than this guy, Jackson. But he can also throw the football. And to answer, as a defensive player, you're down in the ground going on your reads, right? You're doing you can't see what he's doing in the backfield. That's up to the linebackers. But until you're in that game and you're taking on those reads and you're knowing the footing is bad, you play a little bit softer. You're not quite as aggressive on that first read because if you slip, boom, it's gone.
You see him on film, but until you see him in person.
Yeah.
And that's what players, I think, take away from when they first see him. The speed is different.
You and I were in Green Bay for a playoff game, and Howie and I were standing there like this watching Green Bay play whoever. And Howie turns to me and he says, you believe we used to do that? Because it is so fast. When you've been out of it a while, the game is so fast.
You talk about speed, something else Lamar Jackson has done. He's going to wind up setting the rushing record for a quarterback in a single season. Michael Vick currently owns the record. He's the only quarterback in NFL history to go over 1,000 yards in one season, 1,039. Lamar Jackson is 63 yards away from breaking that record, and he's got 4 games left to do it.
Think he'll do it?
Next week.
Well, I'm trying to do the math. That's like 16 yards a game.
But look at the rushing TDs.
Yeah.
7 rushing TDs.
And he's more physical than Michael was, too.
5 touchdown passes last week versus the Rams.
But, you know, they used him in a different way than Michael Vick.
Right.
He was obviously
totally
with the Falcons.
Do you remember Bobby Douglas?
Yes.
Do you remember?
Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears, the left-handed quarterback.
Yep.
He was the first quarterback to rush for 1,000 yards that I can remember.
Well, he didn't do it in the NFL, but he came close to 1,000. He ran for over 900. Yes. Vick's the only one that's ever done 1,000.
Tony and I looking at
each other 30 seconds ago.
Tony and I looking at each other like, Bobby Douglas. I know Michael Douglas. I don't know Bobby Douglas.
The Douglas brothers.
Buster Douglas. Yeah, I did. All right.
You said Bobby Douglas' name?
No, I said Michael Vick's the only one over 1,000 yards.
Oh, I thought Douglas did. I thought I had something nobody had here.
That's okay.
Well, you did. You did.
You did. This is a rough loss for the Eagles today, Tony.
Oh, a tough loss. I mean, looking at their schedule, we were talking about earlier on the early show, who's going to win the NFC East right now. You're looking at the Cowboys, or is it going to be the Philly? And Philly is not playing around. They can't guard anybody on defense. The defensive backfield is not playing that well. And Fitz magic, I call him that, because when he gets in that zone, he is incredibly tough to stop. But still, if the Eagles are a playoff caliber team, you're supposed to beat a team like the Miami Dolphins. And right now, it is wide open. The Cowboys' schedule, though, is still it's not as hard as the Eagles. But right now, I don't know who's going to win. Honestly, I think it's still going to be the Cowboys. The Eagles are not looking good.
He does
365 yards.
Does just enough to keep a job and make you think he can keep on going.
Keep playing.
Yeah.
This is going to come down to Week 16, Dallas at Philadelphia on Fox. Your final thoughts of the day. Let's go around the horn, starting with you, Tony.
I think Kyle Shanahan, even though they didn't win the game, I loved the game that he called. He went with the hot hand. It was superb.
Packers' confidence still in the hunt.
NFC West wide open.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, love you, man. Keep it up.
Yeah. All right. We love you. We will see you again next Sunday for the pregame show. Keep in mind, it's the Cowboys and Bears coming your way on Thursday Night Football this week. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday as we're 63 days from the Super Bowl.
Love you, Mom.